Heyo everyone. I was hyping this video up to be the first of an interview series, but that's going to take a little bit longer to get everything and everyone situated. Crispy, one of the Hapu's leaders who's also a little bit older than most VR users, agreed to be the first person we interview. So I've been figuring out the VR and Massive Loop related questions while also getting the format lined up in a way that feels right. But anyway, we're here today to show off some of the recent updates and one of my favorite new features on Massive Loop. I'm too excited about it. But I'll be helping out with future changelogs on the Discord side of things, so while the communication, is kind of established and figured out, I thought this would be a good holdover video until I can get a proper changelog written up and a professional video format figured out. Something that, makes sense. But I do have the changelog pretty much written up by now, so when this video goes up, it'll probably be out the same day. So, while saying that, outside of the Discord side of changelogs and patch notes, other methods are in the works internally. But alongside new patches or updates, I would also like to make a video detailing everything, since so many of us prefer to find out about changes or cool and fun new features from a friendly face, telling you what's going on. Now, I have a feeling this could be one of the highest edited series that I've done once the format is fully worked out. I've been wanting to include clips for every gameplay edition and some of the funny bugs that we have that are fixed in the future. Personally, I think it'd be pretty awesome. But who knows? It doesn't have to be like that. And just a real quick side note, look at the world behind us. I know that it might have ended up being the thumbnail for this video. I'm not sure, but when I was setting up the camera, I noticed it and I'm like, wow, that'd be a really nice thumbnail for the video. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. But anyway, I've also finally released that simplistic chill video that I was planning to upload last video. Side by side. It's kind of been a pretty wild ride the past few weeks, IRL and online. We have a surprising amount of deadlines due this week. Lots of redoing finances since my girlfriend and I are living without roommates now. And I've been trying to branch out into different forms of content, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes. In my personal life, outside of the communal stuff and ML stuff. I'll tell you more about it at the end of the video, but I think we should probably jump into some of the recent changes, and then I'll show off what might be one of my favorite new additions for content creators and live streamers. But with that said, let's jump into the next segment. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye! Hi, and welcome to here. It's time I tell you about some updates and changes. But, as you might have noticed in recent memory, we haven't really been regularly posting patch notes, and public-facing communication hasn't been ideal, as Massive Loop's team has been extremely busy working on adding new features to the game, cracking down on known bugs, getting the website some new updates. There's quite a bit always going on behind the scenes in terms of development, but sometimes we have a little too much for the size of our small team, which is also a reason why I've been stepping up and helping out a lot more outside of, videos or streaming events. Which, to be fair, my background is primarily community leadership and management, so I'm definitely far more useful in leading or administrative, directing, or public relation related positions, so I'm definitely right at home with cataloging changes and writing out statements. Now, this video won't be reflective of an official format for patch notes or changes. This is, once again, a holdover until everything is sorted out. I don't currently have an extremely detailed list of changes or patches, so we are going to be missing some from the most recent update. So if I can't talk about certain ones in detail, that's going to be why. But I'll do my best to mention everything that I'm aware of, and I want to make it very clear that we're going to be improving on communication outside of, what's already obviously been mentioned. So we're working on better ways to keep y'all informed on what's going on with good old Massive Loop. But I think it's about time we talked about what's been added or fixed. Originally, I was going to do a jump cut, but I'm okay with just doing this. There are 8 new features that were added during the most recent update. We now have a somewhat customizable mic, that being mic icon, that you can disable, enable, or set to show while talking. It's a really nice quality of life feature to, let you know the status of your microphone. It is really nice though. Now we can also quick mute on VR or desktop. It's B on the index. I totally didn't just double check it. And F2 on desktop. This made myself and quite a bit of the active user base very happy. I don't know if F2 is going to stay the button though. The button for desktop might change in the future. There are now HUD notifications and associated preferences, so you can customize if you want to see only friend-related notifications pop up, anyone in the world, or just, outright disable them. This includes player join, player leave, friend request notification, and portal spawns. Now, controller models were added, controller highlights were added, controller visibility preference was added, I believe. I believe so. That one kind of confused me, but yes. We've added an extended version of TMP dropdown, and the last actual feature addition is Light App, a fully customizable real-time lighting system that allows you to spawn local lights similar to the multi-camera system Director Mode uses. So you can just spawn a bunch in, which is mind-blowing. I love this so much. I'm going to show it off at the end of the video, so stick around. But it is so good, man. The performance is insane. But I guess the next point, let's go over to patch notes. So starting with the unknown, the mysterious. There were various fixes, which I wasn't given too much detail about. But after playing Massive Loop with a bunch of people the other day, I did notice that we were encountering less general problems than we expected during our regular bug testing. Some of the regularly reported issues weren't problematic, and it's clear that things have been a lot more stable recently, so even if I can't directly say X, Y, or Z was for sure patched right this moment, I think a lot of things have been fixed over the past update. So, with that said, things have overall just been more stable. There was a potential fix for Steam VR causing Massive Loop to crash when started in DM. Big or weirdly scaled avatars should have an easier time interacting with the UI. I did play with this a little bit earlier. It seems to be working as intended. Menu UI won't be affected by post-processing in worlds anymore, which is a big deal in my opinion. Certain worlds, it would mess with your UI and your menus, so that's nice. Now, that's pretty much everything I have at this moment. The development team is aware of several player-related bugs, or player-reported bugs, which are being looked into and resolved. But the next update should be quite a bit more interesting, but I can't share any details yet. Now, let's move on to my favorite aspect of the recent update, the Light App. I'm hyped, let's go. Heyo folks, welcome to my point of view. I thought I'd leave this segment as completely unscripted since I like ad-libbing quite a bit, but we're going to open our menu, check out the Light App in our Applications tab, and while we're here, I'll show you some of the preference updates. But yeah, first person. So, apps, open up your menu. You'll notice the Light App exists. So real quick, since preferences are pretty straightforward, let's just go there. So, you see this? Click on that. Bunch of new stuff. Whoops, let's scroll down. Bunch of notification changes that you can mess with. Let's see. I know auto mute was added at some point. I don't think that was this update though. But check out preferences. We've got a lot of changes in there. You can now customize your spawn notifications, which is so nice. I don't think there's anything else in here for now. No, that'll be everything for in there. So, Light App. Let's pull it up. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, it's a big menu. So we've got two different kind of lights. We've got spotlights and we've got point lights. Spotlights, let's turn one on. Oh, it's facing that way. Oh, the sun is a deadly laser. But yeah, so these allow you to spawn in camera lights. Now they're local, so you don't have to worry about crashing a lobby or, being a little too heavy, but they're really good real-time lights. We did some testing. We got a couple hundred of them. In one room and a couple hundred in a different room. It was perfectly fine. Now this is really cool for a few reasons, but if you look here, you can change some of the settings. Okay, light status, bound to player, color, range essentially being like, come on, Come on, let me change it. Let me change it. I can't change it. Let me change you. I can't get a... what the fuck? So... we can also fly now. But yeah, so whenever it wants to work... there we go. That's fucking so funny. I don't know what was catching me off guard, but I just started ascending like I was Jesus. Oh my god. That's so good. But yeah, with the light app, you can change a lot of different stuff. So you can also change the angling. Come on. I hit the wrong button. Oh, you know what? This controller's cracked. I forgot. This one has a massive crack on the side of it, so that's my fault. But you can change the range, the spot angle, the intensity. Dude, this is so good. And you know what else you can do? You know what else? You've got fucking unlimited colors. So you want a purple soft light that grants a nice little tint with some emissive fucking world properties? Dude, oh my god, I love this. This is so cool. So what is this practical for, you might ask? Well, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with something like Light App. Now, if you're a filmmaker, a streamer, a YouTuber, dude, oh my god, can you imagine having fucking on-command real-time lighting? You don't have to imagine, it's right here. I'm playing with it. Now, you can bound it to player 2, which essentially just, so if you move around, oh hey, the light's moving with you. Yeah. But overall, there's not too much when it comes to technically explaining this. Now, granted, we did have this happen, which is a known issue. I'm not even sure if it's an issue at this point. Most players like that you can ride the light app, so it's kind of just become a thing in the community because it lets you fly around at super speeds. I love bugs like that, and they're so good. But when it comes to point light, let's put that one up. Point light is exactly what it sounds like. It's a light bulb. It's making light around a point. Unlike this one that is directional, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, so when you make a new one, they pop up like this. You can change between them if you need to. You can also rotate them. You can turn off or on the lights, the meshes if you don't want them to be in frame or in camera. But the properties are pretty much identical in terms of, you know, what you can change on this one outside of, like, obviously you don't have the same, you know, like, you're not going to be able to make a closed light since it's a light bulb. But yeah, hopefully you guys found all of that interesting. There are a lot of other changes and additions outside of what I've mentioned here, at least from what I could find. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. I fucking love the light app, dude. Like, 10 out of 10, this makes me so happy. Like, not only can I have purple lights, but it's not negatively impacting my performance whatsoever. Like, isn't that so cool? Anyway, let's move on to the next segment before I keep us here too long. Bye-bye. Look who made it to the end of the video. I really like the new light app, and the latest update was a nice surprise. It was really cool. As most people, you know, who already know me are aware, you know, managing communities and running Discord servers are kind of two of my specialties. I'm no stranger to writing patch notes or change logs. Same goes for PR and project management, alongside quite a bit of extensive experience in public and project communication. So it'll be really nice to start helping out with things that I'm already familiar with, and hopefully I can help maintain better communication between Massive Loop and its player base. But as I mentioned at the start, I've been rather busy. You know, I'm still regularly working on updates for my 4 communities, working on worlds, avatars, roleplay, and lore. You know, we find ourselves figuring out quite a bit of unexplored territory right now, both, you know, in terms of staff and daily operations, which I can't explain in detail, but next month there will be a noticeable difference compared to today. We will be promoting new people, losing some valued people, making drastic changes to internal structuring, adding a lot of new roles, and promoting members to staff for our Massive Loop project, Abyssal Order. It's a little too much stuff to list here. and far too internally private to blatantly discuss here. Some of the topics are readily found on our bi-weekly podcast though. So another fun thing I've been hard focusing on, Hapu Foundation and Abyssal Police Division will be participating in Project Community with, I think it's around 50 other VR communities. But I've been working my ass off to get both of our booths made by the deadline, which is like right after this video comes out. So I'm super hyped for it. I've been regularly communicating with quite a few other groups, communities, figuring out cross-communal activities or events, and reconnecting with a lot of old friends, which has been really fun. But it's been a great time so far, regardless of, struggling to get our booths situated. That's my fault. I've also been working on quite a few video projects. We've got a few new series being worked on for the Hapus, and I've got a few for Massive Loop that I've been cooking up too. I'll also be covering Helldivers 2 and Sins of a Solar Empire 2 in the near future. For Helldivers, I'm working on a new series to cover and discuss gameplay changes, and for Sins of a Solar Empire 2, I'll be making gameplay guides, with the possibility of, I don't want to say competitive multiplayer gameplay sessions to pop up here and there, but they do get kind of competitive. So I'll still mainly be making Massive Loop and VR related content, but I will occasionally explore other titles and try to make, Helldivers and Sins 2 regular content on my channel. But I've been offloading quite a bit of my communal tasks and abandoning time-wasting projects. I won't be game testing anymore unless it's for Massive Loop, which should save me a lot of time too, to be fair. I'm currently under 2 different NDAs for game testing, so I can't say what they are, but I have a tendency to be hyper involved in an insane amount of stuff, which I'm trying to get better about. But my goal for the rest of the year is to reorganize myself to be entirely focused on my communities, Massive Loop, and my personal growth with, well, my incredible girlfriend. But I want not only the Hapus and Abyssals to continue thriving going forward, I want to make Massive Loop a VR force to be reckoned with. There's so much to say, and to be fair, so much I could try to talk about, but I think I've ranted on enough for today, and I really appreciate everyone watching the video. And if you haven't already, go check out Massive Loop. Their information is in the video description below, but bye-bye. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.